Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. If you're looking for inspiration, biblical teachings, and a deeper connection with God, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into an important message.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This week's episode is titled, Don't Chase, Attract. What belongs to you will simply find you. And this episode is inspired by a quote that reads, "What you chase runs, what you embody attracts." Now I love this quote for two reasons. First, it's a clever play on words. And second, it so elegantly communicates a profound truth about life, the universe, and how we interact with it. Now before we dive into the first part of this quote, what you chase runs, let's take a moment to hook ourselves on the core idea here, shall we? You're not losing things because they aren't yours, losing them because you're chasing instead of aligning. What does that mean? Well, it means that oftentimes in life we find ourselves chasing after things, people, experiences, or even emotions, thinking that by pursuing them relentlessly, they'll fall into our grasp. But what if the very act of chasing causes us to lose sight of what we truly desire? What if the solution lies not in our pursuit, but in our presence? In other words, what if the secret to getting what we want is to stop chasing and instead focus on becoming who we are meant to be? That's the core idea we'll explore today. With that said, let's break down the first part of this quote. What you chase runs. This is a simple, straightforward statement that carries with it a powerful message. When you chase, you run. And in the act of running, you're always one step behind what you desire. It's almost as if the very nature of chasing guarantees that what you seek will remain just out of reach. So why is this the case? Why does chasing lead to running? Well, the answer lies in understanding the psychology behind the act of chasing. The first key point to consider is that chasing is rooted in lack. When you chase, you're subconsciously saying, "I don't already have it within me." You believe that you must go out and acquire what you want in order to feel complete. But what if the truth is that what you seek is already within your grasp? What if the answer isn't out there somewhere, but right here, inside of you? When you chase from a place of lack, you're driven by fear, insecurity, and over-attachment to outcomes. This manifests both energetically and behaviorally. Energetically, you emit a vibe of neediness, which can be picked up by others. Behaviorally, you may come across as clingy, desperate, or needy. And these are qualities that can turn people away rather than draw them closer. The second key point to consider is that chasing makes you reactive, not intentional. When you chase, you're no longer in control. You're at the mercy of whatever it is you're pursuing. You become like a leaf in the wind, tossed about by the whims of circumstance. Instead of being intentional about creating the life you desire, you're simply reacting to what happens. And that's not the way to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. So how can we break free from the cycle of chasing and running? Well, the Stoics had a lot to say about this. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't control outcomes, you only control who you become." This quote reminds us that our focus should be on our character and behavior, not on external outcomes. We can't control whether we win or lose, but we can control the person we choose to be in the process. This is the key to living a life of purpose and fulfillment. It's not about the outcomes, it's about who we become along the way. As Seneca said, it's not that life is short, it's that we waste a lot of it. So let's stop wasting our lives chasing after things that are just out of reach. Let's start focusing on who we want to be and what we want to create. After all, as Epictetus taught us, it's not things that upset us, it's our opinions about those things. So if we change our opinions, if we stop chasing and start choosing, we can create a life that's more fulfilling and purposeful. That was the first part of the quote. What you chase runs. Now let's move on to the second part. What you embody attracts. This part of the quote is where things get really interesting. Once we stop chasing, once we let go of the neediness and the desperation, once we become who we're meant to be, what we attract into our lives changes completely. Suddenly, what we desire starts to move toward us, drawn by the very essence of who we've become. Think about it. When you exude confidence, when you walk with your head held high and your shoulders back, when you speak with conviction and purpose, you naturally attract those who admire and respect you. When you become the person you're meant to be, the world around you shifts. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. The right people show up at the right time, and success seems to follow you wherever you go. So how do we embody the traits that attract what we desire? Well, it starts with stillness. When you're still, you become magnetic. People are drawn to you because you don't need to impress. You don't chase them away with needy energy or desperate behavior. There's a quiet power in stillness that's hard to resist. And here's the thing, when you're still, you seem to know something others don't. You have this air of mystery about you that makes people curious. They wonder what's going on inside that beautiful mind of yours. And when they sense that there's more to you than meets the eye, they're naturally drawn to you. But stillness isn't just about being mysterious. It's also about being confident. And confidence is something we all want to be more of, don't we? We all want to be confident in our abilities, in our worth, in our value. And the good news is that confidence is something we can cultivate. It starts with having a sense of purpose, knowing what we stand for, what we believe in, and why we do what we do. It involves validating ourselves, accepting ourselves for who we are, flaws and all, and believing in our own abilities. And finally, it means having clarity, knowing what we want, being able to articulate it, and taking steps to make it happen. When we embody these qualities, when we exude confidence, when we're still, we become magnets for the people, experiences and opportunities we desire. Why? Because they see something special in us. They sense that we know something they don't, and they're drawn to our quiet power. But here's the best part. Stillness also reflects inner abundance. When you're abundant on the inside, it shows on the outside. You don't have to chase after things because you know you already have what you need. You don't have to impress others because you're secure in your own worth. And that, my friends, is what's truly magnetic. So let's practice stillness, both in our thoughts and in our actions. Let's cultivate confidence by working on our purpose, validation, and clarity. And let's reflect inner abundance in everything we do. When we do these things, we'll attract the people, experiences, and opportunities we desire, and we'll finally be able to let go of the neediness, the desperation, the chasing. And that, my friends, is the path to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. If you enjoyed this episode, you'll love the Stoic Wisdom Daily app. Our mission is to make Stoic philosophy accessible and applicable in your everyday life. Every day you'll receive a new wisdom quote and prompt to help you think deeply and act wisely. Plus, we offer daily and weekly challenges to help you put Stoic philosophy into practice. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to learn more about Stoic philosophy, we've got you covered. Just visit our website to learn more. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Don't chase anything. You've heard this advice before, but let me ask you a question. Are you still chasing things? So today, my brothers, we are going to do a deep dive on this concept, and I'm going to share with you the 5 parts that make up the art of attracting what is meant for you instead of chasing after it. Because what belongs to you will simply find you. You don't have to run after it. Alright, so let's begin with part 1 here. And I want you to listen to this one closely because it's so easy to miss. Part 1. Don't seek approval. Now, this might sound like random advice, but trust me, it's connected to everything. In our journey to manifest our desires, we often look for external validation and approval as signs of alignment. We chase after likes, we seek compliments, and we try to gain the acceptance of others. But the problem with this approach is that we are essentially outsourcing our happiness and success to other people's opinions. We are seeking approval from the crowd instead of trusting our own inner compass. Marcus Aurelius says, "When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." When we wake up each morning, we should focus on what we truly value and what we want to create in our lives. Instead of seeking approval from others, we should set our intentions based on our own values and goals. By doing so, we can stay focused on our path and not be distracted by external opinions and feedback. Seeking approval from others may give us a temporary boost, but it ultimately leads to a loss of authenticity and a disconnection from our true selves. We must learn to trust our own judgment and pursue what we want in life based on our own terms, not on the expectations of others. Part 2. Build yourself into the magnet. Now, once we have our eyes on the prize and we know what we truly desire, it's time to focus on becoming the magnet that attracts our goals. The second part of the process is to focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. This means working on our habits, our mindset, and our character every day. We need to cultivate the qualities, that will make our goals and dreams come towards us like a magnet. This is where the Stoics' teachings can really help us out. Marcus Aurelius says, "The fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good." Remember that in the book Meditations, he was talking to himself, right? He wasn't writing a book. He was writing his thoughts, his reflections on how to live a virtuous life as a Stoic philosopher. So by focusing on our character and our actions, we can attract the opportunities and experiences that align with our values and bring us closer to our goals. Remember, it's not just about what we want, but also how we want to get there. By building ourselves into the best versions of ourselves, we become more attractive to the opportunities and people who can help us achieve our dreams. So let's focus on our purpose, our mission, and our character, rather than just seeking approval. Let the results flow towards us as we demonstrate our skills and abilities consistently and with integrity. This is the second part. Build yourself into the magnet that attracts what you want. Now, part 3 here, and this is a big one. Build yourself into the magnet. The more you align with who you're meant to be, the more the right people and situations gravitate toward you. So now that you've built yourself into the right character, the third step is to realize that the right people and opportunities will naturally gravitate towards you. Think about it. If you become the kind of person who embodies the qualities and values of the life you want to live, it only makes sense that those who are aligned with you would also want to be a part of your life. For example, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you should build yourself into the kind of person who embodies the qualities of a great leader. Someone who's driven, disciplined, and focused on making a positive impact. As you cultivate these qualities within yourself, you'll start to attract opportunities and meet people who are also aligned with these values. Suddenly, you'll find yourself in a network of like-minded individuals who can support and help you on your journey. Becoming the right person is key to attracting the right opportunities and experiences. So remember, don't just chase after external success. Instead, focus on building yourself into the kind of person who is worthy of the life you want to live. Your true success will come from living a life of purpose, integrity, and service to others. Before we move on to the next part, I want to invite you to leave a comment below and share how these Stoic principles are impacting your life. Your comments inspire others and help spread the wisdom of Stoicism to a broader audience. Now let's continue. Part 4. What's meant for you won't need to be chased. Now, with all that being said, it's important to remember that just because we've taken the time to define our goals and aspirations doesn't mean we should chase them relentlessly without discernment. Sometimes we can get so caught up in pursuing our dreams that we lose sight of what truly matters. That's why it's important to pause and reflect on what we're truly after and whether it's worth the effort and sacrifice required to achieve it. Seneca says, all the time you could have used to chase something else, use it instead to look inside yourself. Take some time to evaluate your goals and aspirations and ask yourself whether they are truly aligned with your values and priorities. This is an important part of the process because it helps us avoid wasting our time and energy on pursuits that ultimately don't bring us the satisfaction and fulfillment we seek. By taking a step back and assessing our goals, we can ensure that we're investing our time and energy in the things that matter most to us. This is a crucial part of the attraction process. What's meant for you won't need to be chased. So, trust in your ability to recognize the right opportunities when they come your way. Don't waste time chasing after every shiny object or opportunity that comes your way. Instead, take a step back and assess whether it's truly aligned with your goals and values. Be discerning in your approach and only invest your time and energy in the things that matter most to you. By doing so, you'll be able to maintain focus and clarity and increase your chances of achieving your desired outcome. And finally, the fifth and last part here is detach and let it flow. Now, having done the work to clarify our goals and detach from outcomes, we can finally start to let go of the need to control the situation and allow things to unfold naturally. Detachment does not mean giving up on our dreams and aspirations. Instead, it means releasing the desperate need to force things to happen on our own timeline and in our own way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You don't surrender the desire, you surrender the need." So remember that as you navigate the challenges and setbacks that inevitably come our way, it's important to keep our eye on the prize and stay committed to our goals, while also being open to unexpected opportunities and detours that may lead us to even greater heights. Daring to detach from outcomes allows us to approach our goals with a sense of calm and clarity, which can lead to more effective and fulfilling outcomes. By letting go of the need to control every aspect of the journey, we free ourselves to fully embrace the present moment and trust in the natural flow of life. Trust that what is meant for you will come to you at the right time and in the right way. So, my brothers, these are the 5 parts that make up the art of attracting what is meant for you instead of chasing after it. I hope this video has inspired you to take a different approach to achieving your goals and dreams. Remember that the journey of self-discovery and growth is a lifelong process, and every step you take brings you closer to your true potential. So don't be afraid to explore new ideas and perspectives, challenge your own beliefs, and step outside of your comfort zone. The more you do, the more you'll discover your unique gifts and talents, and the more you'll be able to attract the opportunities and experiences that align with your values and bring you closer to your goals. And above all, remember that you are not alone on this journey. There are countless others who have walked this path before you, and there are many more who are walking alongside you. Reach out to your community for support and guidance, and never lose sight of the values and principles that make you truly happy. You are capable of achieving great things, and the world needs your unique gifts and talents. So believe in yourself and trust in the process. Go after what you want in life with confidence and courage, and know that the universe will conspire to help you achieve your dreams. Trust me, brothers, this is the way. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it valuable. If you did, don't forget to show your support. Leave a comment below with your key takeaway, and hit the subscribe button for more videos on masculinity, leadership, and purpose. And if you want to go deeper still, I recently recorded a full video dedicated to Marcus Aurelius and his reflections on life, death, and Stoic philosophy. You can watch that video by clicking here. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.